People often assume this technology requires a technical background, but if you look closely at the barbers, the coaches, the parents, and the local business owners keeping our communities running, you see the real starting line. The first step isn't technical at all. Everyone is managing full schedules, running businesses, and trying to keep up. When you feel overloaded by all of this, it has nothing to do with a lack of intelligence or effort. It is simply the sheer volume of tasks competing for your attention. That volume creates a wall. To get past it, we have to start with the mind. Shifting your internal perspective is what gives you access to the tools. Exactly. The system only feels intimidating because nobody has paused to slow it down and explain it in plain, practical language. We start with A, awareness. This is the act of noticing exactly where time, energy, and effort leak out of your day. We all carry this invisible weight. This radar graphic shows how to scan your workflow. You start looking for the repetitive work that drains you, answering the same basic inquiries, organizing messy lists, or trying to manage scheduling conflicts. There is a strict rule here. You cannot fix a leak you refuse to see. The problem must be recognized before it can be resolved. Once you actually pause and externalize that workload, the relief is immediate. You see those burdens turn into manageable pieces. That is the power of awareness. Your internal narrative shifts completely. You stop saying, "I am drowning," and you start saying, "I have a specific task to structure." That structure brings us to B, belief. Look at the contrast on this slide. Constantly chasing new tools leaves you with a tangled mess. Building a mindset gives you a clear compass. You do not need a computer science degree to navigate this. The barrier to entry is almost zero. The interface is just conversational, everyday language. If you can send a text message to a friend, you already possess the exact skill required to command these systems. And when you try it for the first time, you watch a single sentence unfold into a clean, organized result, giving you immediate proof. Taking that one simple action breaks the intimidation completely. You realize you have leverage. Beginners often hit a roadblock. You type a request and get useless robotic text, like on the left. That happens when you miss C, context. Panning to the right, you see clear instructions yield a highly targeted, valuable asset. Building that context relies on a 4-part formula. You establish the role, the goal, the audience, and the format. Stating the role and goal gives the system its purpose. You hand it a precise job description. Then, defining audience and format sets the boundaries. The output takes the exact shape you need. It is a massive visual difference. You go from throwing a vague question into the void to handing over a detailed, layered blueprint. The machine does not read minds. Poor results reflect poor instructions. The human remains the most vital part of the entire equation. Look at this fingerprint design. The technology does not lead. Your empathy, your values, and your lived experience are irreplaceable. The system is simply an amplifier for your purpose. This diagram maps it perfectly. AI generates raw structure at light speed, but that must pass through human judgment. True wisdom is governing that output. You decide when to use, edit, or reject it. This stacked equation brings the entire method together. You identify the friction, apply a structured prompt, and filter the result through your wisdom. That creates massive leverage. Leverage means you stop grinding through random work. You utilize the right support so you get your time back to actually think, build, and rest. That is the complete path. You move from carrying the invisible weight of daily friction to operating with amplified confidence. The future does not require 8 billion programmers. It requires leaders, healers, creators, and parents who are willing to translate these tools for their communities. Specific applications will always evolve, but read the statement here. Technology changes, mindset lasts. Your adaptability is your permanent advantage. You have the agency to begin today. Lickle by lickle, we build the future. Now let's bring it back to major and build from there.